Let's go.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of, well, it's the second live episode of Anime on the Clock.
This just in. Hanakana has reviewed our show and determined that we are, in fact, the most mouth-breatheriest people on the internet.
When watching On the Clock, sit in a dimly lit room far away from your life's dreams and goals. I'm Kevo, and I'm joined by my co-host Akira, and we are On the Clock.
Let's clock in with 5 good minutes on Ki. This might seem like a really weird subject to talk about now of all times, but I figured since Little Busters was airing and shit, like, we might as well talk about it. But Ki has really fallen off.
What do you mean? As a visual novel studio, as a source for anime, like what?
Dude, as, like, everything. You ever get that feel that, like, he just isn't as good as it used to be?
Yeah, I definitely do get that feel. Like, see, okay, here's what Clannad Air Canon, people talk shit about that bullshit all the time and how, like, the Kyoto Animation adaptations are super cheesy and the Ki games aren't really good. I think that there were some of, like, the best, like, romance, drama, bullshit, like, ever made. Like, I still think that Canon and Clannad are really, really great anime. And, like, you can't deny the fact
You fucking Philistine. I swear to God, dude.
You cannot deny the fact that fucking Clannad and Canon are fucking great-ass anime. Okay, those feels.
Great
man.
anime or great ass anime?
Great
ass anime is like Vivid Red, right?
Well, no,
Vivid Red is great ass.
Great
anime.
dash ass, like great ass, like good.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, here's the thing then. If I'm such a Philistine and none of Ki's stuff was ever good, then where's the fall if there's no rise, right?
Oh shit. Well, I was the one who came up with the name of this. Fuck. No matter how you look at it, it's my fault.
Checkmate, atheists.
Wada. No, to be honest, I feel like the issue with Ki is that, like, at some point, you know what it is? I think it's because I've gotten older. I think that's what it is. I don't think anything's actually changed. I've just gotten more jaded.
Okay.
And I'm like, I see what you're doing. You're trying to make me feel bad for these people. But I'm not going to because you told me to feel bad for them.
So, and I have a feeling that like that too. I think that if you like showed me Canon or Clannad right now, I'd just be like, okay, well, I've seen this a million times because I watched that shit. Like the Ki anime were actually some of my first anime ever. Okay, and I fucking
oh boy, you're one of those.
Yeah, Clannad After Story fucking almost made me cry. Okay, I was like, oh, it was so moving. Poor Nagisa. Oh no.
Yo, spoilers.
Okay. Yeah, spoilers. Yeah. So, sorry about that. But and now, like, I try to watch some other. Whenever I watch romance shows, it's like, yeah, this stuff is good, but it's nothing that's gonna like really move me on that level. Probably because I'm a jaded old hag that doesn't have
Wait, can we just also talk about how Ki's artists can't draw for shit? Can we please?
Oh, you mean Inaru?
Put that out into the open.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. Everyone doesn't want to say it, but it's not just Itaru. It's Naga can't draw either.
I have always thought I was doing some research on the person who drew Air and shit. I forgot her name. And people are saying like, oh, she has a unique drawing style that many people describe as moe. I'm like, that is such a clown sentence. Who the fuck writes these Wikipedia articles? Yeah, unique. That's special, all right. That's just special. Okay?
It is special. It's
everybody in Air looks like they're a downer. Okay, and let's talk about the recent anime, since Kyoto Animation basically has kicked Ki out of the door. Okay, and it definitely doesn't help. Little Busters is garbage.
Is it garbage though?
Little Busters is garbage. Okay.
It's probably garbage. Yo, look, here's the real issue in my opinion. Like, this is gonna be a thing that we're gonna talk about in today's show later on as well. It's the idea of taking things that are old and redoing them instead of doing new things. I wonder if we finally reach a saturation point for that. Like, at some point we're just like, oh, okay, like, we've seen this before. Ugh. And then, I feel like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like we're at this point where everyone is like, okay, we've seen this before. Like, there was some point where we weren't cynical.
Well, we talked about the visual novel Bishoujo's game industry last week. Is the fall of Ki linked to the fall of the entire industry as a whole? I mean,
no, I just mean like the like anime as a whole is like, we're at this point where we're like, okay, we've seen everything by now. Like, oh, this is gonna be awful. Like, I already know what's gonna happen. Like, blah 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 blah.
Well, I still think that we get good anime every year, and like I still think we have a lot of originality every season. I mean,
No, maybe that's true, but like I think this whole key thing is also
I think Key is past its time. We've moved on.
right.
Key has
I
not
think
made anything.
I think that the key like cry kind of like I'm gonna force you to be sad kind of approach to romance and storytelling is outdated, and I think people generally don't want heroines.
And you know what? Something else about Key that's outdated: this fucking Deus Ex Machina ending in every single motherfucking story.
Can we not talk about? Yeah, let's
well,
not
I'm
talk.
just saying that's how all that shit like ends.
But I mean, look, like here's the thing: is like this is something that we're going to talk about throughout the entirety of this show. So keep an eye out for it. But we're talking about basically what innovation really means in the in the context of anime, because it's a really interesting question. Because people don't want to innovate too much, but they don't want the same shit over and over. And I think something about Key just says that as well. And to be honest, I see a lot of viewers chiming in, being like, well, by a lot I mean like one. They're like, oh, like if JC Staff hadn't done like Little Busters, it would have been fine. Like I highly doubt that.
Well, I think there's a reason that Kyoto Animation didn't want Little Busters, and I don't think it was related to staffing at all.
Because it was shit. Because it was shit. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. The Lucky Star spinoff is called Miyakawa Family's Hunger.
Who the fuck is the Miyakawa family?
I actually don't know. I think it's the chick with pink hair. I don't know. Maybe I actually know nothing about this. Lucky Star's been so long ago. But what is the big news is that Yamakan is actually coming back to direct it for Ordain.
Oh god, Yamakan saving anime for the third time.
Hell yeah.
I'm telling you.
And at first when I looked at the art, I'm like, oh, so Kyoto Animation welcomed Yamakan back. No, they're just really good at pretending to be Kyoto Animation.
Yeah, again, we're talking about the new and the old, and this is a great way to bring back Lucky Star, because they're like, oh, like we don't have that much new material to go off of, so we'll just do a spin-off about a side character. I don't know how well it's gonna work.
Are you gonna watch it?
Yes.
Me too. Just because
you know why I'm gonna watch it?
I'm so curious.
You know why I'm gonna watch it?
Why?
Yeah. Well, one, because I kini narimasu, number one. But two, like, I don't know, man. It's Yamakan. Like, I feel like everyone deserves to give Yamakan another chance.
Yeah. For sure. Like, for me, I look at this and I'm like, what a genius way to bring Lucky Star back, because Lucky Star got old while Lucky Star was still airing. Okay, let's get that out the door.
No, it didn't.
I thought it did. Fucking after the 13th episode or the 14th episode, it was
okay.
like,
What were you, like 13 when Lucky Star aired? What do you know? What do you know about Lucky Star?
Please look at Lucky Star with like my 10th anime. Okay, I'm fucking. So basically, yeah. Like I think that like giving a Lucky Star season 2 again would just be like, first of all, what the fuck? Second of all, I think the concept and the whole structure is just kind of dated by now. And one interesting fact, Konata's voice actress is actually going to sing the opening. Do you think they're going to replace Aya Hirano?
Oh. I don't know. She doesn't have much of a career anymore, but I feel like it'd be bad if they didn't bring back Aya Hirano for this. I really don't know. That would be another interesting thing. Dude, that would be like all the prize of anime getting in one place.
I know.
It'd be like Yamakan plus Aya Hirano. You know? It's like all the people that anime like didn't want anymore are gonna make one last anime to tell everyone that they're relevant. It's kind of tragic in a way.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, that sounds like some drama on top of anime, like what we all need. Nikkei, the Japanese newspaper, recognizes Hosada Mamoru, the director of Summer Wars, as the influential person of the year. Akira, can you speak to this?
Yeah. He's like the official title of his appellation is like the hit seller of the year. Basically, they pulled together a bunch of people in all kinds of popular culture, not just anime, like light novels, basically mainstream culture. And they said, you are the man who like has had the most, not just like financial success in 2012, but also has the most cultural impact. And like the most interesting is they called him like post Miyazaki.
Right.
What does that mean? Like, because I understand what that means, you know what I mean? But like, I think that's a really interesting argument to make, because like I think the only two people who can have a claim similar to Miyazaki in domestic Japan, I think internationally Miyazaki's influence is just way too like far and beyond the largest thing we have. But like, I think that for domestic audiences, it's either Shinkai or Hosada, and I think Hosada is a little more mainstream than Shinkai.
I definitely can agree with that. If I could pick between Hosada and Shinkai, I would definitely pick Hosada, and here's why. Shinkai tells one story very well, and plows.
Yeah.
Okay. Hosada, and it's a love story. Okay. Hosada, his works, Girl Who Flew, Leapt Through Time, Summer Wars. It's so much more. It feels strange, but it's so much more Japanese than just a love story. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how I feel. I love Shinkai. You know, I am a huge Shinkai faggot. I'm a huge fan. But I think, you know, I do believe that Hosada is far better as kind of almost an ambassador of the anime aesthetic to the rest of the world.
Please don't give me that shit. I think Shinkai is just as good of an ambassador of the anime aesthetic, if not better than
Shinkai
Hosada.
draws clouds, bro.
But and like, I don't know, like Hosada tells stories about people saving the world on the internet, bro. Like, I don't know. Hosada is great. I really like him, but he's a very different aesthetic from Shinkai, and I think he is the next Miyazaki because, like Miyazaki, his movies are on face, not as serious as Shinkai's.
Yeah.
On face.
Yeah.
On face. I think Miyazaki's movies have a lot of depth, but they're also very accessible to children in a way that Shinkai isn't, and I think Hosada is also accessible to children in a way that Shinkai isn't, and I think that's what sets them together.
I absolutely agree. All right, moving on. We're gonna go do win, pass, fail.
Yep.
And we basically come up with a topic and we decide give it a score of win, pass, or fail. So our first one is Yamazaki Mari's next project. Yamazaki Mari drew Thermae Romai. Her next project is gonna be a biography manga of Steve Jobs. Now, I give this one a pass, and just because, give it up for some originality in manga and anime. Thermae Romai just by itself, really original work, really original concept, and we talked about it last week. You know, biography manga of Steve Jobs, that's, another direction, and I definitely felt that if anyone was going to do it, Yamazaki should do it. What do you think, Akira?
I fail.
Uh-oh.
I fail this.
Okay.
I fail this because I hate Steve Jobs.
Okay, me too. Me too. I do not like Steve Jobs either.
I fail this because I do not want to contribute to his cult. I think he was a great designer. Okay. He was a great businessman, but he was not a man, certainly not a man that deserves to be revered.
Do you think that's something that's an angle that Yamazaki is going to take with this biography?
No, I think Yamazaki is going to teleport Steve Jobs to Japan in the 1980s and show how he got all of his great ideas from Japan.
Oh yeah, well then if you think about it, Yamazaki is an artist, so they basically do worship Steve Jobs as God incarnate.
I just don't think he deserves the kind of support.
No,
I don't think he deserves the kind of cultural legacy that he has right now.
I do not think so either.
Anyways, we got to move on.
Okay.
So, Toho, the company, not the game, is getting its own anime studio.
Okay.
This is a win for me. Toho has, been involved in a lot of projects. They've done the Doraemon movies every year. Sure. They've been supporting Noi Tamina for a long time now. I think it's great that they're finally going to start their own animation studio. What's interesting is that their whole pitch is they say, quote, "We want to create something that other people cannot copy." Quite bold. Quite bold, I think. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
As they switch to the medium between, I assume they're intending to make anime, right? Like,
yes.
Season anime. What kind of competencies do you think that they have that can make their anime distinctive and uncopyable like they claim?
They don't know a single person who can draw moe.
Okay. Well, I see. To me, that's not a good thing. To me,
that's definitely a competency. Yeah. That's definitely a competency. I don't know how. No matter how you look at it, that's a competency.
I don't know. I love my moe. I'm a plebeian. So that's a win for you. The final season of Hidamari's sketch has been announced. It will cover Sai's graduation, and to me, this is a win. What a great way to end a really, really great franchise. I've always criticized Hidamari's sketch just a little bit, just because it seems every season there's a new Hidamari sketch. Like, that shit never ends. And why not? Shaft's cash cow, another penny that contributes to Madoka is fine with me. But this, Hidamari sketch has just been with us for so long, and I don't love the show, but I like it. It does what it does very well. The characters are very cute. I love, Shimbo's crazy, aesthetic art design. It's an anime about art, and it has all this, fucking, art deco shit all over the place. That's cool. What do you
give this
think?
a pass.
Okay.
Pass because we're not sure if it's the final season of Hidamari.
Okay, if it is not the final season of Hidamari, I will be a little mad.
Because remember K-On! College and K-On! High School?
That sounds like the worst thing possible.
Yeah, so what if that happens?
Oh my goodness gracious.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Okay.
Anyways, last thing. So we're talking about tit bags. You guys know those, sometimes in eroge or just in manga or anime in general, you see girls with boobs that are just really, really well defined on their clothing, and you're like, there's no way that works. You'd have to put your tits in bags to make them look like that.
Uh-huh.
Tit bags, I'm not even sure how to pronounce it in Japanese. It could be chibukuro, nyubukuro. It could be a lot of things.
I'm sorry
anyways.
that I don't have an image for this one because I was absolutely not Googling tit bags.
I mean, you shouldn't because that's not a real thing. That's a vernacular translation I came up with on the spot. But they're trying to anyways, the point is they're trying to market tit bags to cosplayers. They're saying from now on we're going to make seifuku with like bags for your tits.
Okay.
This is awful because first of all it means that you relegate cosplayers who would either stuff their tit bags with fake shit or just have tits that are exactly that size. And, like, I don't know. I'm just, like, I'm not down for that, number one. And number two, like, ew. Ew. Tit bags. Ew.
That does sound absolutely atrocious.
It's just absurd. I don't want those. Oh, who benefits? Who benefits?
Nice. Alright, well, now we're going to move on to some opinion pieces, and I guess there's no better way to start off than an good old-fashioned argument about Sakuraso.
The argument, which, by the way, no one other than the two of us care about, because, as you guys know, Sakuraso is not a very popular show.
Yeah, no one watches it. It's great stuff. You guys are all missing out. Just, it's your fault. You know, whatever.
Yeah. So... I had a large mouth breather discussion about this with someone who I can't remember, who was like, "Oh, like Nanami's the better girl."
But Nanami is the better girl.
But like she isn't.
Okay.
But like she isn't. Why? Because well, one, she's from Kansai, which automatically makes her incredibly hickish.
Okay.
Number two, she has a ponytail. Ugh.
Oh my god, come on, bro. Ponytails at the bottom.
No, ponytails are awful. Think about
are
like
great. Oh my god.
no, ponytails are unfortunate. Think about all the characters in the Idolmaster that have ponytails. No one likes any of them.
Oh, I see what you're doing there, Akira.
You know, nobody likes any of the
doing
characters.
there.
With
Oh, you
ponytails.
watched
In fact,
that.
I can't even name a character with a ponytail in the Idolmaster.
I'm a little bi-furious right now.
Don't worry about that. Let's see. Why else? She doesn't have blonde hair.
Well, who cares? I love blonde hair as much as the next guy. But Nanami is fucking retarded. No, not Nanami. Sorry. Blah. Mashiro is fucking retarded. Okay?
No, that doesn't matter. Who cares?
I'm sorry that you have an autism fetish, but, like, she's just not very interesting.
Look. Can we stop with the offensive autism fetish thing? Like, it's not even proven that she's autistic.
I actually do agree with you. I just fucking wanted something to say. But
Right. You wanted something to say. But, like, I mean, that's cool and all, but, like, honestly... I don't think there's any case to be made here. I think that by far we're going to see... Well, I think the way the show is going to end is neither going to get anything. I think the show is going to end with a very, very compromisey, like, we don't know what like, girl he's going to be with kind of an ending. And then you're like, well, fuck.
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind that ending because that way Nanami doesn't lose. Because, let's be honest here, I don't expect Nanami to win because, you know, when the fuck doesn't Osana Najimi ever win, right?
You know why Osana Najimi never win?
What?
It's because they're really annoying.
Oh, come on, bro.
No, Osana Najimi are basically the substitute for the mother character. Prove me wrong. They are the substitute for the mother character in every single way.
But they're so great. Like, the mother character, like, to take care of you, she's always there for you. That means it's perfect for a relationship without being creepy and incestuous.
No. Think about this. You're not, like, gonna joff to some girl who, like, does your laundry and, like, tells you to, like, go eat dinner and, you know, tells you to go to bed at the right time. Like, that is not arousing. That is not hot. That is not relationship material.
What, then Mashiro not knowing how to put her panties on right is relationship material?
Yeah, because her box is hanging out all the time.
Jesus Christ, okay. I think we can all just settle down, though, and just fucking love Mashiro and Nanami, but Nanami wears tights, so just saying.
Tights are, you know, the other thing... Okay, can I just say something about tights real quick? All the female listeners, all three of you, all one of you, all zero of you who are listening right now, can back me up this. Knee socks suck because they don't stay up like they're supposed to.
Well...
They're awful. They're awful things. Anyways, moving on.
Okay. Well, so recently, Fuji TV decided to revive Iron Chef, and it didn't go so well when it comes to ratings. It's kind of like that reflection of people just liking classic stuff generally, but also that desire from the massive audiences for originality. And so let's just speak now to like Fuji TV's move and what kind of implications it has on anime.
Okay, so I don't want to talk about Iron Chef too much because this is not a show about Iron Chef as much as I love Iron Chef. What I think is really interesting is what the Fuji TV executives said after the show was canceled, which they said, people don't want new things, but they don't want rehashes either.
So what do they want?
That's a great question. Because that's a question that they don't answer. And I think it's because they don't know what the answer to that question is. But I think the problem is that Fuji television, well, just television in general, is sort of finding it really hard to stick with a single concept. Think about like even like in American television, like if a show like doesn't get good ratings in the first 3 episodes, it's cut.
Right.
It's cut immediately.
Right.
And I think the same thing happens in Japan. Like, I mean, it's not that drastic, but like there's so many shows that are not hits. Like think about Kill Me Baby, right?
Right.
Like that was like a completely new thing. And it just like fell flat on its face. And like I'm not saying that like it's because Kill Me Baby was like excellent and that people like have no taste, but like there's some sort of resistance against new things, I think. But you also don't want a remake, right? But so where this puts us is like sequels, I feel like.
And you can see it almost in every single. You can see it on both sides of the ocean because I think Fast and the Furious 6 is coming out this summer. You know,
Yeah.
Like, and this season, we're getting a sequel of Orimo. We're getting a sequel of, it was just so much shit. Like, we're getting sequels of, and that's okay. You're familiar with the characters. You're familiar with the story. It's safe, quote unquote. So, like, but without the influx, I guess, of original ideas, like, where are sequels going to come from in the end?
Fuck if I know.
What came first, the sequel or the first season?
No, I don't know, but like think about all the sequels that are made these days, and I think it's because again, like I think one of our viewers is correct. Like they want the familiar with a new twist,
Right.
but I think that new shows have a role because you need those things to be there to push forwards, and like the ones that do make it through the sieve will get sequels. They will be loved until the point where they're not loved. Shimon. Away they go. But it just seems like such a static model. Like, again, the big problem that I have with this whole industry is that there's like very little innovation going on, and it really pisses me off.
I don't mind sequels of like a lot of shows I like, and that's because I'm a selfish fuck, But yeah, like I'm willing to try new anime, but a lot of times I really can't be bothered unless a bunch of people are talking about it. If you just like look at kind of your own view of anime, it kind of reveals a few clues. It's like, what the fuck is this show I've never heard of? I'm not going to watch it unless people are going to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure. Sure, but like I don't know, man. Like we're out of time, so I'm not going to talk too much about this. But yeah, it's a really frustrating state of affairs, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Akira, you can't say that people have no taste. Kill Me Baby was awesome.
No, I agree. I think Kill Me Baby was awesome. Anime of the year every year.
Even years when it doesn't air.
Even years before it aired.
All right, so we're going to conclude the show with just some OMAKE topics. By the way, this image is what $500 a month can get you in Tokyo when it comes to living. So go ahead, Akira, with the first one.
So according to real police reports, the most common phrase used in sexual assault like when people are trying to sexual harass a girl is, "What color are your panties?"
I mean, sometimes aren't you just curious?
Yeah,
last week's was voice actress Yukari Tamura's 17th plus 7,305 days birthday. Eian Junanasai desu.
Oh wow, shit. Orderimo Season 2 has already been licensed.
By
really
Aniplex
aggressive.
USA, I think, yeah.
Yeah, this is really, really aggressive, and I don't know. I don't know how well Orderimo is selling.
They know how sequels work. I mean, we were just talking about this, right?
We were just fucking talking about this shit. I swear to God. Ugh. Anyways.
The Museum of Kyoto is helping fund Tamako Market. What do you think of this as for when it comes to museum funds?
Oh, this is such a fucking racket. They're saying, oh, we're going to fund all sorts of animation works that display, like, Kyoto culture. So, like, Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. Tamako Market. Oh.
So,
I don't know. I think KyoAni is starting a racket in Kyoto. There's something up there.
And finally, Big Globe, the Japanese blog, runs a Vividred plus Strike Witches plus Girls and Pounds or character poll. In a fit of actual good taste, Elia and Erica managed to top the polls from Japanese viewers.
Her name is Ayla, you Philistine.
Whatever. I fucking can't read. Okay?
Anyway, sorry, we're out of time. You've just wasted another perfectly good half hour and like 5 minutes listening to two Asian men ramble about little girls in 2 dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, everyone. Also, everyone needs to watch...
What kind of anime do you think Dennis Rodman watches?
What the fuck? I don't know. Maybe he watches Precure.
You think Dennis Rodman's the kind of guy who'd watch Precure?
I think he's goofy like that.
Really?
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know.
Well, first of all, do you think any professional athletes really do watch anime?
I feel like Dennis Rodman would really enjoy Strike Witches.
You think so?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's all into that wacky shit. He likes ass. You know?
Well, I like ass.
I mean, who doesn't like ass?
No, but really, like, do you think any like fucking professional athletes watch anime?
No.
Why not?
Why would they?